Okay guys, so I'm going to talk a little bit about English saddles. This is an all-purpose saddle I got for $5 that I repaired, so it really doesn't look like a $5 worth saddle anymore at this point because I got it real nice and good. I've been sick, so please bear with me because I'm still coughing and everything else. A little history on the English saddles is they were designed first to fit the rider. They are to work on rider balance, all those little fine, minute things that go along with horse riding. Secondly, then they were padded up to fit the horse, which is a complete different configuration from Western saddles. Western saddles instead were designed to first fit the horse because the horse is working, and then secondly padded up to fit a rider. Now the reason for that is because when a Western rider is out on the range chasing cows and working, the last thing they're going to be worried about is my legs in the right place? Am I in proper position? They're more concerned about, is this cow going to bull my horse over, and am I going to be able to stay on my horse as he goes down, or what? I mean, you got totally different issues going on here. English riders, you don't have to deal with that. So you get to work and be undistracted by cows like Western riders eventually all end up doing. Excuse me. Now it comes to measuring an English saddle. Now English saddles are very much different by a long shot in their configuration. Again, also not just based on how they look, but how their tree is designed. Now I've seen a lot of people try and measure an English saddle the same way you would a Western saddle. You cannot actually do that. Excuse me, I'm going to cough again. But still, there are some things that you need to do the same. Basically, cut your English saddle in half, like I've kind of marked here with the tape on this English saddle. Now, on your cantle, which is right here, this is going to be your point of marking for your English saddle, for the back of your cantle, because you always want to measure to the center of the back of your cantle. Now, on an English saddle, you don't have a saddle swell, but you have a pommel. But the pommel's not where you measure from. Instead, you measure from the button here. Now, what's interesting on a Western saddle is there's so much more in front of the saddle here, okay? So, like the padded flaps, on an English saddle, your Western saddle has the skirts that come up here, but then they come straight up for your horns. So you have a whole different place and configuration for where everything goes. So you want to measure an English saddle at a diagonal. Again, from this button right here, from the very front of it, to the center of your seat back here. So this saddle measures at a 17-inch seat, which surprisingly is the same thing as a 15-inch seat in a Western, because these saddles are designed differently. They have different needs, different designs, different intentions, but yet they'll both fit a same rider. Okay? They'll fit the same person, I should say. But they're measured differently. So this is a 17-inch seat measured from the front nail button to the back of the cantle. Now, people want to try and measure a gullet on an English saddle, which is a problem. And here's why. Unlike the Western saddle, you have all this padding right here. Western saddles are not padded up underneath. The tree is sitting directly on the horse. Now, an English saddle, it's not the case. The padding is designed to make the saddle balanced on the horse, where the tree itself on a Western has to be balanced to the horse. So you have a whole different ball game going on. But it's still kind of good to know where the gullet is. The gullet is not at the top nail button. It's at this one right here, just like the conchos on a Western saddle. So if you were to try and measure your gullet from your second button, or like a concho on a Western saddle, from the center all the way over to this one, you see you've got all this padding in the way. That makes it incredibly hard to know if you have a wide tree or a narrow tree or what it is. But however, you can find out where the bar angle is. Now, the bars on an English tree are not necessarily known as bars. They're designed a little bit different, okay? I'm not much of an English rider. I did study some of the saddle making on the English saddles, but I'm not real well versed in them as I am in Western. So, again, if you want to find out what angle your saddle is at, or what if your saddle is a wide tree or a narrow tree, find the angle. How you find the angle is you measure from the center of your pommel here, and you take it right along where that bar is at, which sits right inside all this leather that's been sandwiched over and sewn. I can't remember the exact measurements. If I can find it, I will post it in the comments in the video below, so hopefully that'll help, because I'm terrible with remembering things at the time. So if this were a wide tree, then here's what the angle would be like. If it were a narrow tree, this would be what it'd end up being. So that will kind of help you figure out if it's a narrow or a wide tree. And again, I'll post what those angle dimensions are in the comments. You'll know. One other way that you can figure it out is if you know what size your fist is. Here's my fist. Got the lighting kind of weird, but that's okay. You can take your fist and actually stick it between your second nail buttons right here, and kind of get a basic idea. And go, okay, well this might fit my horse, because you can put your hand on your horse's back and find out just how wide they are. Or get a saddle that you know fits your horse well, and stick your hand in between the gullet and find out, well, where's that gullet, meeting my hands at? Where's the leather meeting my fist? So this is a wide tree, actually. Fits my horse wonderfully because of the angles here. Now, if it were narrower and came closer to my fist, I would have a problem fitting my horse. But just like the earlier video of the Western saddle that I have, and the video of this saddle, both saddles fit my horse wonderfully. But you can't really measure a gullet on an English saddle because of the padding here. But you can definitely get a roundabout ballpark. If you're looking to buy a used English saddle online, measure your fist. Ask the person to measure their fist, find out how wide it is, and put it between the second nail buttons. And take a picture of it and send it to you. Go, alright. And that's how you can basically get an idea for what the gullet's kind of going to fit like on your horse. Hopefully that helps. Yeah. Aside from that, I guess that's it. Alright, you guys have a good one.